So today's video, right? I want to talk about like why you're not somebody's first option, right? Like point of video talking about are you not someone's first option? But before we talk about why you're not someone's first option, right? Maybe it's a you problem, Like think about this, right? If the people that you want to be with not give you the same energy back in return, and that they want nothing to do with you, and the people that want you, you want nothing to do with them, you feel like you're too good for them, right? Maybe you have to do some self evaluation, right? Because it's like maybe you could be the problem. Maybe like you got to figure out what you could work on. Maybe you got to spend more time on your looks. Maybe you got to work on your personality. Maybe you got to work on the way you present yourself. Maybe you got to work on your mindset, right? Because I'm not saying all times, because no, sometimes people just, just not attracted to you. But maybe sometimes it's like, it's a you problem. What I mean by you problem is areas that you lacking in. And that if you fix those areas, the people that you are attracted to, people that you want to be with, might want to be with you in return once you fix those areas. You get what I'm saying? But before we get there, we gotta understand to not be delusional, right? Because sometimes our friends can lie to us. I see girls who friends do it with each other all the time, like tell each other like, "Girl, you so perfect, you could do better." And the whole time, her friend was a problem in a relationship, or she not bringing any value to the man's life, and so by no one not never being realistic with her, right? How she supposed to know better? You get what I'm saying? Yeah, same thing with a man, right? When your homeboy is around you telling you that, yeah, forget her, bro. Like she just no good for you and this and that. And it's like, do your friends know the truth? Do your friends know that you was a problem? Do your friends know that what you do behind closed doors? Do your friends not see your flaws and want to call them out? Cause maybe the people around you haters, right? Because I know, like me, I'm a real friend. So it's like if I see one of my homies lacking in a certain area, I'm like, okay, you fix this and this, you could get what you're looking for, right? But when no one never been real with you, no one never told you the truth. Like, for example, right? Say your breath bad, right? And your friends, when you're not around, they crack jokes by his breath smell bad or her breath smell bad. But they're not telling you to your face like, hey, bro, you might want to go to the dentist. You might need to get a root canal or get some teeth pulled to get rid of those cavities and stuff. Or maybe you got a gum disease. Something going. There's a problem going that causes you to have bad breath. But your friend's not gonna tell you that, right? If you got fake friends, they're just gonna kiki laugh and joke behind your back, right? Or your friends see you got an attitude problems and stuff when you're not around, they talk junk about you like, oh, he or she got attitude problem, this and that. Like somebody put you to the side, like, hey, until you fix your attitude, no one gonna want nothing to do with you. So you know what you need to do? You need to fix your attitude so people would want to be around you more, right? But that's what I'm saying. That's why you need to surround yourself around real ones. Cause you surround yourself around real ones, people that'll call you out and stuff like that, and tell you where you falling short at. That can help you in the future because you know what to work on. You know what to improve about yourself. Because when you become an overall better person, you could attract better. When you could attract better, you could actually get the relationship that you actually want to have instead of settling, right? That's different between being delusional and settling. And some of it's just really delusional because I seen it firsthand. Like I seen people hype their friends up so bad when their friends got so much they need to work on. I'm not saying nobody perfect because I'm far from perfect. Other people far from perfect too. But when you're not when you're not willing to change and willing to grow and put the work in so you can change, that's a totally different ball game. Cause I seen dudes tell each other, right? A dude could have like a dude could haven't went to the dentist in a few years, don't take care of himself, have attitude problems, have jail records and this and that. His homeboy telling him that he deserved the most perfect woman out there. I'm like, bro, tell your homie to work on himself, fix his life. Don't. Why would you want to go ruin another woman's life or set him up with her? Like, why would you ruin somebody else's life? That's why it's called letter of recommendation. That's why it's called recommendation. Yeah, letter of recommendations where you recommend somebody, right? If you want a good, if you want to have a good image or people to trust your word, you will only make good recommendations. Because anytime I had a job or something like that, it was a letter of recommendation where I had to recommend numbers to call, and the people numbers they call, the people were telling like, hey, this guy is a great candidate for XYZ reasons. And they were just keeping it real because I understand character means a lot. So I wasn't delusional. I knew I had areas I needed to work on, right? So I went ahead and worked on those areas so I can be a better candidate for whatever job I want to have because I know the job I want to have, the resume matters. My recommendations matters, and who I am when I show up to the interview matters too. And the energy I give, my personality, my mindset, all this stuff matters on the interview, right? Some people think, oh, I can't get the job, like they just don't want to hire me. I mean, yes, that could be the problem sometimes, but sometimes you gotta ask yourself, what am I lacking at? Was my social skills there at a job interview? Was my resume good enough? Was my letter of recommendations good enough, right? Because if you worked a job in the past, you never show up to work on time, or you are at work, you lazy, you lack ambition, and they call that letter of recommendation, right? They call them, and the person say, "Hey, he was always late to work. He was no call, no show quite a bit. He didn't do this, he didn't do that, or she didn't do this, she didn't do that." That employer not going to hire you. They not. No, they just not going to hire you. So, but when you understand that, okay, I need to build my resume. I need to build my recommendations. I need to build part of building my resume recommendations. I have to do some character development. I have to do some self improvement so I can be the best overall candidate. So I can be a more qualified candidate for the field that I want to go into. Right. That's how you should look at your like. That's how you should look at your dating life. Before you send a pointing finger at somebody else, ask yourself, what I'm the problem at? Maybe I lack emotional intelligence. Maybe I lack empathy. Maybe I lack understanding somebody. Maybe maybe I can't control my lust. Maybe I can't become the person I need to become yet because I'm so blinded by what's going on around me, and I'm so blinded by the fact that I am delusional. I'm not willing to change. You know what I'm saying? Because you gotta have a plan for your relationship. You gotta have a plan for a relationship. Where are you heading to? Right? That's like when you get in the car before you head to your set location. You got to make sure you understand where you're going to, because if not, you're just gonna be driving without making it to your destination. So you gotta have a plan for your relationship, just like you gotta have a plan for your life. Because we have a plan for your life, you know where you're going to. You try to put the pieces together, understand how you're going to get there, right? So you look at your relationship the same way. Okay, what plan do I need to have so I can get the relationship that I want to have? What kind of plan need to have so I can keep this relationship long term? Because I promise you, we get in a relationship, is you gotta it's maintenance. You gotta keep up with it, right? Just like, okay, we got a pool at home, and the pool we got at home, the pool guy come weekly or monthly. The grass man come cut the grass weekly or monthly. Sometimes I cut the grass if the lawnmower working or not. I cut the grass, but this when you at home, you got to keep up with the stuff weekly or monthly, right? If you don't keep up with it, it'll get out of whack. It'll be all out of order and stuff, and it'll look terrible, right? That's why you keep up with it. Same with your appearance, right? You want to keep up with your appearance, right? So that you can continue to look taken care of, right? So if you know what I'm saying, like, think about that though, right? Like, you always got to keep up with the stuff around you so it can be at its best value. So if you're not keeping up with yourself and you point a finger at X, Y, and Z for why you not their first option, not their first choice, someone they want to be with, could you really be mad at them? Like how can you be mad at them when you are the problem? Seriously though, because I see too many people complain about why someone don't want to be with them, right? And I think to myself, I'm like, well, I don't even know you that much, and I see you got problems right here, you got problems right there, you got problems right here, and if this other person, thinking just how I'm thinking, they gonna see all this problem, but I don't want to deal with them. But that's why you need to find out what areas you lacking in, so you can upgrade your life, so you can be somebody's first option. Trust me, I know it suck when you have to do what you feel like you settling for something way lower than you want to be with. Deep down, nobody want to settle. What I mean by settling is know you could do better, don't, but not doing what you need to do better. So you just settle for what you have in front of you. Like, think about a job, right? You could qualify to go get a better job. You'll be a great candidate getting a job, but you're not putting the work in to go get a better job. So you just settle for this job because it's more easy and more easy to have and more easy to keep up with, instead of working and do what you need to do to go get a better job. So you just settle for it. Same thing with your physique. You can settle for your physique. You can settle for anything in life when you're not working towards something. that you know you truly want, or you know something that could bring some real value to your life. So before you point the finger and say why this person want to be with me, they the problem, it's their fault, like they got issues. You might have the issues yourself. It might just be you. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please stay tuned. Part 2 coming soon. That's it. I'm out.